Hey, buddy, watch this.
Hello, Regis Kilbin is the name, and Hearthstone is the game, and welcome to my latest Decksperiment, where I take a crazy, cool, interesting, inspiring idea for a deck, and then build a deck centered around that idea right here live in this video, and then finally take that deck out onto the ranked ladder to see how it performs. Today's inspiration, as you might have guessed from the screen, is the new One Night in Karazhan card, Prince Malchezaar. This is a legendary from the 4th wing, and this is a card that has mostly been judged pretty harshly by the community prior to its release. I had slightly more mixed feelings about Prince Malchezaar. A lot of people's first reaction might be that the card is in fact overpowered simply because it adds extra legendaries to your deck, which sounds like a really cool thing. The problem with that, of course, is that when you add random extra cards into your deck, that makes your card draw much less reliable, simply because you don't know what you're going to get, and typically you build decks with cards you like, and you like drawing those cards you like, and Prince Malchezaar actually makes it less likely that you draw the important cards. So for instance, you might draw 5 straight Lorewalker Chose or something, and not get the removal spells you need, or the life-saving spells, whatever thing you might need, some specific minion to finish the game. Prince Malchezaar actually makes it less likely to see those. So the only real advantage to this card in my mind is that he does extend the length of your deck by 5 cards. So you have a 35 card deck instead of a 30 card deck. And the reason I actually have some positive hope for Prince Malchezaar, some belief that he might be playable, is that with a 35 card deck, you have an enormous advantage in any sort of fatigue scenario, because your deck fatigues out 5 cards slower, meaning you don't take that damage for 5 extra turns. So what I really want to do, and what this Decksperiment is going to be, is building a Prince Malchezaar deck that is all about fatigue. So a deck that is really, really good at surviving until fatigue, and just essentially removing everything your opponent has, living forever, and then just winning the game through attrition. Now, that may not sound like the most fun way to play, or certainly not the best ladder environment for some people, because it's not fast, it's not high action or high octane, it's slow, it's a little punishing, it's a very slow way to climb, but I don't care. I think it's going to be interesting to see the potential of this card, because, sometimes if you can build a deck with an 80% win rate, even if it takes 20 minutes to play a game, that might just be better than that 55% win rate deck that takes 5 minutes to play a game. I didn't do the math there, but for certain players who like really control-style battles with a lot of heavy thinking, this kind of card and a fatigue deck around it could be a lot of fun. So, I've gone ahead and set up my Malchezaar Fatigue Warrior. I should say that Warrior was the class I chose because it's very specifically good at fatigue for one reason, and that is that it can build up armor as a resource throughout the entire game, and that armor makes it even more resilient to fatigue. Now, I would be willing to hear arguments that with Prince Malchezaar, you don't necessarily need quite as much armor throughout fatigue, because you have such an extra bevy of cards anyway, that why do you care about the armor? And that's a fine argument, actually. It might be intriguing to see some other classes take advantage of the fatigue style with Prince Malchezaar. But also, Warrior's just really good at staying alive, right? To get to a fatigue scenario, you have to live. If your opponent kills you, who cares how many cards are in your deck, right? So Warrior's also just good at staying alive, and has enough removal, particularly hard single-target removal and AoE removal, something like Brawl, that it has the resources necessary to contest your opponent's board while playing into those fatigue scenarios. So, obviously the first card we're going to pick is Prince Malchezaar. Now, you might be thinking, well, you need a lot of legendaries in this kind of deck, and that may be true. I'm not actually sure just yet, but I think the most important thing, honestly, is just having removal. Lots and lots and lots of removal, and high-value removal, right? So, we want cards that are going to give us bang for our buck. We need both early game answers, but also late game answers. Clearly, Execute and Shield Slam are going to be at the top of that list. They're so good. Plus, we certainly want to run 2 brawls. In fact, yes, 2, because we want to make sure we have ways to remove stuff. We also want cards that give us health back. So one great card I know is Bash. It's both early game removal and armor. So that's a perfect fit for us. We also want Shield Block, definitely for the health, but also to set up Shield Slams from time to time. What other survival cards do we want? Ancient Shield Bearer is pretty good, right? This is intriguing just because it gives you so much armor. But I don't know that we want to move into a Cthulhu deck, because that requires a lot of different extra cards that we want to add in, which don't really necessarily fit the mentality of our deck. I think we want a Gorehowl. I'm actually considering also a Fool's Bane, simply because it's another removal option, right? It's kind of a mid-game removal. And then I think we definitely want 2 Fiery War Axes as additional removal. Oops, not what I wanted. So yeah, we have 4 weapons, but we have sort of early game weapons. This is a mid game weapon, and this is more of a late game weapon. So hopefully they don't overlap all that much. I want Revenges, because those are very good whirlwind effects, but also if your opponent gets you down low, you can use this as a board clear of sorts. So what else do we need? We're up to 17 cards already. I think we need Bloodtaker just as another early game deal with stuff card. Slam is really good. It's pseudo removal, pseudo card draw, and we don't actually mind having card draw in this deck. Normally in a fatigue deck, you don't want too much card draw because you don't want to fatigue out first. You don't want to run out of cards for your opponent. But in this scenario, we're going to have so many extra cards that having a little bit of card draw is certainly not punishing at all. And in fact, we need some just to make sure we don't run out of stuff. So we want Ravaging Ghouls just because they're so good at killing stuff. And also I think we want Acolyte of Pain. If you've got Slam and Bloodtaker, it's just a natural fit. Arguably maybe just 1 instead of 2. This is 8 total cards we could draw between these 2 cards. Theoretically, usually more like 4 to 5 probably. So that's probably okay. I think that might suit us. 2 is okay, I decided. Let's turn off that filter. This is a pretty interesting card, Blood Warriors. It just gives you even more resources, but I don't think we need that. We have enough stuff. This is maybe another deck, another day. But I really do like the potential of that card quite a bit. There's something here I was thinking about. Oh, well, Cleave is like early game removal, but I think it's perhaps a little too unpredictable, so we're going to pass on that. Armorsmith is an option with Revenge and Ravaging Ghoul. It's the kind of card that can give you a lot of armor, but I think a 2-drop that doesn't trade well is probably just too weak for this particular deck. Oh, I think I might want to try the Ironforge Portal here. It's just another armor gain card. It's moderately valued at 5 mana. In other words, it packs a little bit of a punch, right? It's not just throwing away a slot in our deck. So it's life gain, it's board presence. I don't know if it's good just yet, but in the interest of learning not only about Prince Malchezaar, let's also try to learn a little bit about the other new One Night in Karazhan card, Ironforge Portal. Because I'm not just arbitrarily including it because it's a new card. I do think it fits the style of the deck. So, what else do we want, right? We're looking for cards that contest the board really well, that remove stuff, that give us armor or life. None of the other ones really seem to fit all that well. Taunts do make some sense, so like Fierce Monkey is a potential option, but we have a lot of early game already, so I want to start moving into the mid to late game. I think we need to look at neutral cards to do that, but let's filter this down a little and see if there's any legendaries we want to run. Elite Starseeker is actually pretty good in fatigue scenarios, right? Just in case you end up with some late game Bloodtakers that you can't use or need to get rid of an Acolyte of Pain that you don't want to draw. Elite Starseeker just gives you another kind of out. And I know a card that we definitely want is Justicar Trueheart. She's like the ultimate fatigue card, just because she allows you to build up so much armor. And I just realized we're at 29 cards already. But, I don't actually hate where we're at. Just seeing... Baron Geddon's not bad either, just as a removal option. Let's try him. So you might be thinking, well, you need, like, a big late game threat. You need, a Deathwing, which actually makes a lot of sense in some ways. You need the Ysera, you need a Onyxia, a Yogg-Saron, something to help you win the game. And that's maybe true, but remember, we're not trying to play down minions and have them hit the opponent's face and win the game that way. We're trying to win via just running them out of resources. And that means we don't need threats necessarily. We mostly just need removal. I'm questioning Elise. I really needed a 4-drop was part of the problem. You have so many 3-drops in this deck. Makes me nervous that we don't have a lot of 4s. But there's just not a lot of great options, right, on 4 for a warrior in particular. Barnes is not going to work in this deck. We don't care about Barnes. We maybe could cut out this Gorehowl or perhaps the Fool's Bane. Fool's Bane does require us to take quite a bit of damage, but it's just so efficient. I don't think I can pass it up. These are basically kind of 4-drops, right? You don't play them on 4, but you do get 4-cost minions at least. And, you can play 3-drops on turn 4 as well. Yeah, I like Baron Geddon. It's just another sort of AoE removal against aggro decks. So I think I'm going to keep Geddon. Sylvanas is sort of good in Fatigue, right? Particularly against specific things like Cthulhu. I'd like to find a way to fit Sylvanas in this list. Maybe we drop an Acolyte of Pain. Just because, is a little sensitive to the card draw. But we're going to have, we don't know what Prince Malchezaar is going to give us. So maybe we don't need the Sylvanas. I think we want to have card draw to mitigate the risk of Prince Malchezaar giving us a bunch of Lorewalker Chos or whatever. I don't think he gives duplicate legendary, so you can't get 2 Lorewalker Chos, but we could get, like Lorewalker Cho, Nat the Darkfisher, normal Nat, and some junk. So still a potential to backfire some. Gosh, excuse me, I'm like losing my my voice and I'm sniffly. This is going to be a long video, potentially, depending on how many games I play, so I wish that would go away. Okay, here's a 30-card list. I don't know that it's perfect just yet. I like Elise, I like Malchezaar. They have some cool, they do different things, but in a similar way. Justicar is vital. A lot of removal. Just trying to think if I'm missing any, really important fatigue style cards. I don't often think about fatigue decks, for instance, Deathlord was a card you used to run from Naxxramas because it pulled minions out of your opponent's decks. It actually made them draw cards faster, which was important in that style of fatigue warrior because their decks were still 30 cards, right? So they needed their opponent to draw a little bit faster than them. But we don't really need that. It's fine if our opponent has 30 cards because we have 35. So Deathlord is not mandatory by any means. The one thing we don't actually have is just a taunt minion. Is it important for us to have taunts? A lot of people, especially new players, make the mistake and think, oh, you have to have a taunt to be a defensive deck. But that's not really entirely true, right? Sometimes just being ahead on the board is defensive, and having spells is defensive. One card I would like to add in, and given some recent videos, people might make fun of me a little bit, but it's Yogg-Saron, right? This card's just too good. I challenge the fact that he's so easy to just throw on to the end of a list and have a good card. And we do have a lot of spells, right? There's 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 spells in this deck. So it's almost impossible not to run Yogg-Saron. He's removal, he's value generation. I think we have to make room for Yogg. Do we cut perhaps Baron Geddon? Do we cut perhaps Fool's Bane? Maybe an Acolyte of Pain again. I think maybe Gorehowl is a possibility to cut too. I guess I'd rather have the Gorehowl than the Fool's Bane. I really like what Fool's Bane does, but we have other... This is good against, right, small board or big boards of small minions. Whereas this is better against, you know, a single big minion. Or at least one at a time minions, right? This is really good at killing a 7 health thing, and then a 5 health thing, and then a 3 health thing. Can do a lot of flexible things. This is much worse at that. Killing a 7 health thing with this would mean you have to attack 3 times into the same minion, which means you might take like 21 damage. So we have other cards like Brawl that are really good at that, and Ravaging Ghoul or Revenge are good at that. Bash can be good at small minions. So I guess we'll cut the Fool's Bane, and we'll add in the Yogg-Saron here. That feels like a positive change to me. All right, so all that said, I think that's my deck. I think that's what it's going to be. This is my Malchezaar Fatigue Warrior deck. I like it. This is an interesting risk, right? Perhaps we'll get some bad legendaries, perhaps we'll get good ones. But I think when designing a deck like this, it's just really important to have consistent health gain and removal, so that if you do draw dead a couple turns, you still have the stuff that you need to win the game and to keep up on the board. So let's give it a try. Let's test out this Malchezaar Fatigue Warrior deck on the ranked ladder and see how it goes. The season just started, so I'm dropped back to some random rank. And we got a ways to climb, clearly, but this is not going to be indicative of real rank 18 level play. This is people who are at rank like 5 or 6 or whatever at the end of the season, so should see some decent players and some good decks still, hopefully at least. I'm very curious what we'll find. Alright, so we definitely want some early game, but Revenge is actually not it, particularly against a Warrior who doesn't typically have a lot of token stuff. Against Zoo, we'd probably keep the Revenge. I'd rather have the Fiery War Axe, Bash, that kind of stuff. Shield Block, Shield Slam gives us something, but it's pretty slow. It's probably a Dragon Warrior of some sort, but you know, you never know what people are testing right now. I guess I should have... Oh my gosh, we've both run... we're both testing the Prince Malchezaar Fatigue, so this game's going to take 100 years. That's funny. I like the effect of Prince Malchezaar, that's pretty cool. So one cool thing to think about a lot when you're... Oh my god, I picked the wrong deck. What is this? No! I don't have a Cthulhu in my deck. Oh, I'm stupid. I'm so dumb. That's so dumb. That's the Prince Malchezaar card. I'm so stupid. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little sick and a little stupid. Forgive me. I was like, wait a minute. I pulled up a Cthulhu Warrior. I didn't even think I had one live. Oh, man, I'm dumb. Alright, so he is running Armor Smith. That's interesting. I don't think I love it. I'll just send this out there to the Armor Smith. It probably gets Fiery War Axed or Bashed or whatever, right? I don't know. But against another Prince Malchezaar deck, card draw actually can be a problem. Oh, weird. Weird. Whoa, weird. This is insane. So it is like a mill deck. It's a mill fatigue deck. That's a totally different way to play this. I'm not sure a way that I support, but we'll see if it works for him or not. Now, drawing a card is obviously going to be somewhat risky in this scenario. I don't know what to do. I can armor up, but this is actually now making me nervous. Some could argue this is a misplay now because I'm going to give him an extra armor that I didn't have to, but I wanted to draw the card first, see what we got, make my decision there. So I'm actually going to Shield Slam this, mostly so that it doesn't attack this to draw more cards. I know we're using some pretty valuable removal against a 2-drop, But this Acolyte of Bane's making me a tad nervous now. And I have enough other stuff, right, to deal with things in the present. So. Oh, cool. So, like, when you play Prince Malchezaar, he doesn't really do anything, right? He's just a 5/6, which is still a good minion, don't get me wrong. Still a good minion, but not altogether that threatening on his own. I was like, what is this? Every time I freak out, I get surprised. I gotta get used to this. So let's shield block first. Unfortunately, his attack means our mana is our armor could be weird, but we still have enough to shield slam if we want. Brawl's good to see. I think we're probably just gonna trade shield slam. See what we get off this card draw. Fire War Axe actually does change something. It helps my Elise stay at higher health. So we'll just still shield slam. It's a little sad that we have both shield slams missing at this point. But we got an execute and some decent minions actually. A 7 mana 4/6 charge is really not that bad. You don't have to have a pirate to make this card good. So far our random legendaries are quite exciting. Cthulhu is as a 6/6 without Battle Cry is actually not a bad card. It's sort of an underrated just legendary, I think. Alright, so he's off to the True Heart faster than us. That's really important, actually. It's really, really good for him. I guess we'll just go face with this and clear that with our weapon. Armor is not actually that important to me right now, just because I don't have shield slams anymore. Clearly, we need health. We're not going to win this game through damage. But I don't mind taking the damage either, right? The 6 damage in the scheme of things is going to be pretty minute. Weird. He's got card draw in his deck too. He's going to overdraw. He's going to burn a card. That seems unusual to me. I don't know if I like that. Unless he has a... Does he have the coin still? Yeah, he does. Okay. It's fine. Just burns the coin. That's totally reasonable in this kind of matchup. I don't think that's a problem at all. Gosh, I'm scared to, like, use my execute here. Could Blood's Ichor, my Acolyte, see what I get. That's 4 mana. I have 4 mana remaining. The execute would still be bad here, but I could also Revenge to draw another card off my Acolyte. These go to 4/4 in 3/3. Makes them susceptible to executes, but I don't really care if he executes these. It doesn't change their impact to brawl or anything. Although I'm going to have a very brawlable board. I'll have 4 minions out. But they won't be good minions, right? So maybe it's okay. Let's just see what happens. A little too expensive. I just don't like this. Maybe I just armor up and attack. It's really not that different than Revenging, right? These take a little extra damage, but the only difference is this goes into Whirlwind range. Brawl is still Brawl on this board. There's a lot of... I guess, well, it enables a Fire War Axe, that's true. But that's okay. I saved an Execute, so... And an Execute Activator, so feel okay about it. Alright, that's fine. Can deal with that pretty easily. Trade. And that's how we'll do it. I want to finish this off. I don't want drawing too many cards. I need to keep it within reason, right? He needs to armor up every turn, I think. Oh my gosh, this is insane. Normally, I guess that makes sense for him, but it's just so many cards. Oh, there's a Team Master. Cool. I like that. That might come in handy. Looks like we're just gonna trade, and maybe Ironforge Portal, Fire War Axe, armor up. Let's see what we get first, right? We have 9 cards in hand, so we won't burn a card. It's important to check that when you have this big of a hand. Ravaging Ghoul doesn't really change anything, so we're just probably going to do this. We'll attack first out of principle. We don't have any shield slams left, so it doesn't matter, but typically, right, you want to get the max amount of armor before attacking. That's not a terrible 4-drop. Or excuse me, you want to get you want to attack before getting the maximum amount of armor. If we'd done it the other way, it actually wouldn't have mattered, I guess, since we had 2 armor. But just out of principle, always attack first and armor up later when you can. Alright, so we've got Yogg, we've got Cthulhu, we've got Baron Geddon. That's a lot of removal. We're actually in an okay spot, I think. He's actually at 16 health, too. He's not armoring up all that much, so there's, like, potential to just sort of win the game here in a second. We have 7 and 6 here is actually 13. It's not lethal yet, obviously, but it's getting close. This could be very good against something like a Ragnaros that comes down. Like, we don't know what it's going to be, but there are things it could be. Alright, so his shield slams. That's 1 shield slam. We can just Ravaging Ghoul execute. I don't know if that's good enough against this or not. Could try to make the Cthulhu hit, but that's sort of risky. Could actually Ravaging Ghoul or attack Ravaging Ghoul Baron Geddon, but that puts this to 2. It's not the best Baron Geddon. The problem is I don't know if Baron Geddon's ever going to get value in this matchup. Execute on this is perhaps worth it. Maybe we play in the execute play and let's Golden Monkey first. See what we draw. Gormok, that's never going to get played. I can actually play it this turn just as a body, I guess. It's never going to get the effect, right? I'm never going to have 4 minions out. So let's just play the board. We've drawn 1 extra card than him. So we're going to have to make some stuff count. Yogg is going to be make or break this game, probably. Brawl is going to be hard to get value out of, too. So this might have to be an Elise Starseeker card. I wish we had our Justicar. He hasn't really taken that much of advantage of his. We've just been keeping his health chip down, too, which is nice. Every time I see these cards, I'm like, I don't run that. I have a little mini freak out every time. Literally every time. So what did he just do? Put this to 4-3. He's not going to execute that, surely. No way. No way. I felt guilty about executing the Bloodhoof. I'd feel really bad executing a 4-3 with a 3 attack weapon out. Feel real bad about that. So I can slam Baron Geddon or slam trade. Could also just Cthulhu the empty board, take his armor down to 4. He'd have more than enough to shield slam, but he may not have the shield slam. He's executed and shield slam pretty recently. But this is just a 6/6. It's not like it needs to be super valuable. It's never going to get buffed, right? We don't have any Cthulhu buffs, so maybe I need to use this against like a more smaller board. Could try the slam hit. Just to draw a card. I guess I like the Cthulhu. It's just clean and simple. Let him sort it out. It's probably going to get shield slammed. But there's a chance, you know, 6/6 is not the easiest thing to deal with, honestly. As long as our Justicar is not the last card in our deck, I think we'll be okay, thanks to Elise. Because this card may never get value, this may never get value, but Elise turning those into Nefarian or, you know, Ysera would be amazing. By the way, Ysera is a sort of good fatigue card, but another one of those things where I don't really think we need threats so much as we need to just, yeah, so there's the shield slam. So both of those are gone. He still has 1 execute remaining. I don't think he has a minion to play. I think he's got like a hand of removal. Sort of like us to some extent. This might be a good turn for Baron Geddon. Both shield stones are gone, which means his best removal would be like either a bash or an execute or a Fool's Bane, which means he's gonna have to take like 14 damage out of this to make it work. If he executes, he has to take 7 damage. I don't think this is ever going to kill a lot of little guys. We have other spells for that if we need to, so I think it's okay to just play this out as a 7/5 minion. It's like, just shield slammed. What do I do now? Like bash trade, double bash, trade execute. There's ways. By trade I mean face. But you know, he does not want to take 14 when he's only at 22. Because that puts our Gorehowl like close to lethal, right? I put him at 8, he'd go up to 12. Like we'd be looking for lethal with Yogg and Gorehowl. So he has Revenge execute, it looks like. So that's all his removal gone. We still have 1 execute remaining. I don't think this is a good Yogg board. But I guess I'm going to do it anyway, because I have nothing else to do. I can develop a Gorehowl, but that's so bad against Harrison. He might just be running Harrison, even though it's a card draw. We've cast enough spells that this is likely to accomplish something for us. Give us some secrets, draw some cards, like something to Call the Wild. We haven't cast a ton of spells, but... you know, again, I don't know this is ever going to be removal. We're not playing like a minion game right now. We both are just stacked with removal cards and no threats. Looks like I got some sort of attack here. Oh, that's so good. Hex my own Yogg. Oh, it's just upgrade. Healing touch on me? No, on him. That actually sucks. How did we draw that Malchezaar? What did that come from? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Holy Nova's fine. Alright. Not the best. Oh, this was a Paladin. Light in the Darkness or something. Well, it's actually pretty good. It's a minion and a free weapon. So, Yogg didn't really do much. He created a minion, which is nice. Whoa, dude. I gotta kind of do this just to get through this turn. I guess I'll just play this and armor up. It's fine. It's just another minion. We could Malchezaar, but I actually still have a weapon up, right? So I'm gonna try to maximize the value here. It's a shame we didn't have the Gorehowl to get upgraded. My God, that would have been amazing. It's really sad that Justicar is like the bottom card in our deck. I just can't stress how important it is to get your Justicar out early. I'd have like 8 extra health right now. That didn't change much, particularly in the regards to the Fool's Bane. It takes the same number of attacks. So we have a Tink Master too. Is he running Tink? No, it was also created by Malchezaar. Exact same scenario. So yeah, Fool's Bane, he's running it. I mean, I like it. I think it's clearly a card I just questioned as well. Gosh, I wonder if this is the best Brawl turn I'm ever going to have. It's kind of sad. It honestly might be. I just don't have a great play here. If Malchezaar hits, you know, a 3 or 4 attack weapon, it's going to be great. But if he doesn't, it's going to suck. So I could Gorehowl for the guaranteed value on the Armor Smith. Just Gorehowl armor up. But then I never get to play Malchezaar, right? Like, because Gorehowl's going to last forever. So Malchezaar is just a dead card at that point. So I guess I'll just Malchezaar and pray, right? Malchezaar and pray. That's enough, I think. That's probably enough. So we really need Justicar. It's annoying that we haven't gotten it yet. Or Elise would be good too. Or not actually Elise. The Golden Monkey itself would be good too. We have more cards than him, which is nice, but and he doesn't have removal for this. He's gonna have to eat 14 unless he tries to brawl. Oh, cool. I don't mind. I have a Gorehowl. That's totally fine. This might just be my brawl turn. I don't know. Gonna attack first. Right now we have a 25% chance to win the brawl. Oh, he's gonna clear this. It's definitely my brawl turn. Oh, he took a lot of damage out of that. That sucks. Yeah, brawl, Ironforge Portal should be fine, and I'm gonna do it in that order. I'd rather have a 4-drop lined up against any of these than perhaps just kill my 4-drop, right? None of these should threaten a 4-drop very well, so... Yeah, that's probably the best outcome, actually, to tell you the truth. Man, that's so stupid. I get like the 1-3 health 4-drop. It's so stupid. I mean, whatever. It's still killing its minion. That was the goal of the turn. Got some armor out of it, so it's fine, but just a little frustrating. Ugh! That's actually annoying. Tink's gonna handle it, but it's still just scary how much health I lost at once. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll do this. I think it's important to armor up every turn at this point, so playing the Gorehowl there obviously would have killed a 1-health guy, which isn't good, and would have denied me the armor up, so... Azure Drake is risky. Jeez. Oh my gosh, he's like... That might lose him the game, those 2 card draws. We were behind on the card draw. By that I mean we had drawn more cards, so it was... sort of we were in a worse spot in some ways. But now he's ahead. So yeah, he's not in as good of a spot as he was. But our 2 best cards, our 2 best fatigue cards, bottom 6 cards of the deck. By that I mean Golden Monkey and Justicar. If we had Justicar out earlier, I don't think this game is losable. That's another win condition for him, certainly. Oh god. Still, look at this. The bottom 4 cards. Unreal, guys. Still nothing. Jeez. I don't think I can cast Slam. That has to be saved for removal down the line. So I think we'll just Beast. Run into Elise. Play the Beast. And... actually, I think we'll trade instead of bashing so that I can fit in an armor up. Remember, these are all cards I want to turn into legendaries. I don't want to draw cards. Bash, perhaps we could play just because it's health. I just can't believe our best 3 cards are the bottom 3 cards of the deck. I suppose Elise is actually one of our best cards, but it doesn't matter when you draw Elise. I didn't need her earlier. I could have played her now and been in the exact same situation, right? So, oh, yeah, we played into Brawl a little bit, but... Oh, cool. Best outcome by a mile, because it didn't give him a minion and it gave us a Giant Dude, so... Cool. We actually have perhaps close to lethal. 14, 17. Not anymore, but gosh... We were very close to lethal, so we're gonna Golden Monkey, right? There's just no way we don't. Do we want to bash first? I guess we'll just trade in the Beast here. We could Blood to Ichor trade Golden Monkey, or actually we would trade Blood to Ichor. I think my life is more valuable than the 2/2 right now, just because it plays into Brawl a little bit, and life is at a premium right now, so... And this gets me 9 damage to the face, right? So I do think it's worth it. Oh wow, Halazeal. We don't have any spells left, so... Oh, Farian's actually not good. If we played any Death Rattle dudes, I don't think so. I guess I don't need to play those. I can wait. Brawl is sort of scary. So we lost our Justicar by playing the Golden Monkey first. It's just gotta be. It's just the way it's gotta be, right? It sucks a little bit, but. Obviously the best target there. Oh, Tink Master, it could hit big and it could fail miserably. I don't think we've played any Death Rattles, right? So this is not good. We don't have a dragon, so this is not good. Herald Volage doesn't do a darn thing. Like, our legendary draw actually kind of sucks. Well, Tink, it's all on you, buddy. Never lucky, dude. What do we want to play? I guess Halaziel. This also plays into Brawl just a tad, but he has a Rag out that I want to die, so Brawl might actually kill his Rag as well. But knowing our luck, he'll Brawl and Rag will win, and we'll lose the game. But either way, this reduces the chances of that happening by playing a minion, and we didn't get the best suite of legendaries here off of... This is maybe unplayable just because it fatigues me so hard. This doesn't do anything, it's just a 5/7. This doesn't have a dragon. It would have been amazing if we had a dragon. That might be a dragon, so it might still be relevant, but Herald Volage doesn't do anything either because none of these cards have active effects other than Halaziel, but we don't have spells in our deck anymore, so this is totally useless. So we just summon a bunch of 1/1s, which really plays into Brawl. All right, he's guaranteed to get the monkey, right? So, oh no, he's not. He had a 50-50 to get the monkey. If he monkeys, he's not brawling. So there's the last brawl. He's gonna get the monkey next turn, guaranteed. Either way. Okay, so we won. Worst minion, but by God, it's a minion. So we'll definitely take it. This cannot ever win, right? I don't think it ever wins. Rend, we know for sure he's gonna play a 6 health guy. We can't play 2 minions a turn, so that's not a relevant discussion. Does this not draw cards if your deck is empty? I don't know how this works. I don't trust that it does what I want it to do, so... So that's the Golden Monkey, or, well, one of those two is. So he'll have 3 legendaries we have to deal with. We're ahead on the board, which is nice, but our legendaries just suck. This won't Death Rattle because neither of us have minions, right? We do have more health, though, so that's really important. But he has the Justicar thing, so we're kind of at a deficit, right, every turn. So I can go 6... but I take a ton of damage. I don't know that it's worth it. The problem is though that I don't think my 3-attack weapon's ever going to get value on a different turn. If I take 6, I go down to 13. I get to hit him for 7, which means he goes down. He's at 13. He would go down to 6. He'd heal back up to 10. I'd have a 7/4 out plus a couple 1/1s here. And I'm going to play the Herald because I think it gives me the most flexibility and damage on board. So I think I'm going to make this trade instead of using my face, because I'm a little bit scared about the damage I'll take. And I can still do 6 damage theoretically over these 2 cards. So, I mean, we're in a great spot, right? He doesn't have a spell, so these things aren't going to be removed. So it's 8, 9, 10, plus 3 is 13 damage. He can go to 12, so he has to have a taunt or some way to kill a minion out of 3 random legendaries, which, I don't know, it doesn't seem super likely.
Put your face in the light.
No big deal, guys. Just the best imaginable legendary card in the game. No big deal, though. This actually has the most attack, and it allows me to armor up, so I think we'll play Rend. Saving the weapon until I might want to kill a minion with it, theoretically, so we'll save it and hope that that matters. I can't believe not only did he have a taunt, he had Tyrian Forging to get a 15 attack weapon. Like, look at our junk. If we have a death rattle that I forgot about, this has been a misplay. I should have played N'Zoth, but I don't think we did. Oh, we had the beast. Crap. Forgot about the beast. So we did have a death rattle. Shoot, this might have been a misplay. I was thinking we didn't run one, so we didn't have one, but we did have the beast. So this would have put a 9-7 out. Gosh, I'm going to play this next turn now for sure. But I think the game's probably over, unless he has another taunt somehow. Second Tyrian, but even then, I don't think that does it. That actually hurts more than it helps. So yeah, we'll just win here. That's right, but we have enough damage to win. Woo! Woo! Oh, we had a lot because of this. I forgot about the Skeleton Knight too. Jeez. Oh, so we did have a pretty big win condition there. The Skeleton Knights didn't die until last turn though, right? So they weren't relevant until just then, but... oh, wow. So, tough game, but... Tough game. But we did what we wanted to do. We won in fatigue. I don't know. It was a close call. Our Yogg didn't get a ton of value. Our legendaries sucked, both from Elise and were pretty bad from Prince Malchezaar as well, so that was a little challenging. I'll keep these two cards. They work well together. Ravaging Ghoul's good too. Execute for the potential Flame Wreath. Revenge if he rushes me down and I need a Whirlwind Effect or 3 damage Whirlwind Effect, and Ravaging Ghoul's really good too. So I'd like to see a Fire War Axe still, but this is enough for us to work with, right? We can make this work. Pardon me as I drink some Vanilla Coke Zero, because my mouth is about to die. It's a good legendary, but not for this matchup. Would have been great last game, but it's a little too slow here. and that's the risk of this deck. Like, we drew a pretty bad card for this matchup, probably, unless this is some kind of control shaman or whatever, which is a possibility, but most likely it's not. Although he got off to a slow start if it's aggro, which is good. No Tunnel Trog. I would expect Totem Golem here. Oh, whoa. Did not expect that. Cool beans. I like it. Yeah, we actually could Shield Slam that, but I don't know what this deck's going to have in it. So let's just armor up. I don't think 2 damage is going to game break here. There are no Cthulhu synergy cards for Shaman, right? So it's interesting to see. I wonder if there's like Battlecry shenanigans. I'm curious what this deck's going to hold in store. Clearly some Totem shenanigans already. It's not good. I really like to see a Bash or a Fire War Axe. Brawl is sort of good. Do I just bait the Brawl next turn? We'll take 5. We'll be at 32. I mean, I just don't have a good turn right now, though, right? Ravaging Ghoul doesn't do anything. I could Shield Slam, or I could Ravaging Ghoul execute, but I don't really see the point yet. Let's just try to get a Brawl off next turn. Even if he just totemed, I'd consider Brawl. If not, we might Ravaging Ghoul Revenge. Kills off a couple things. 5 mana is much better than 4 mana, though, for us, so Hero Power's fine. I think we have to Brawl that, right? There's 2 or 3 really good Brawl targets, and, it's just enough board to deal with It's fine. I guess I want the healing totem out. I don't know. Flamethrower totem's fine. It's a threatening minion, but not on its own, right? So we'll have time to react to whatever comes down to benefit from it. That might be worth executing, honestly. We can revenge into revenge. But we can't also play Ravaging Ghoul, which would be cool. So we can Ravaging Ghoul. We can just armor up. We can't armor up Shield Slam. I don't know, this is scary. It's really scary. Maybe we just kind of take it slow, but oh no, we can't just Ravaging Ghoul because the Healing Totem ruins that plan. So I think I'm going to leave a 0-1 Flame Tongue Totem up here. I really don't like that play, though. The play I'm thinking would be Revenge, Ravaging Ghoul, Execute. That just feels so bad, executing a 0-3. Like, where's our Fiery War Axe? Where's our Bash? We have 4 cards to deal with this stuff, and we haven't drawn any of them. I'm gonna do this instead. It's really not good because of the Healing Totem. Ugh. Card late, bro. The Healing Totem, well, it just depends on whether he attacks, right? But the Healing Totem will heal these back up. Sucks, but there was no good play. I didn't want to use all my whirlwind effects. Wanted to draw a card, basically. Alright, we can actually... Oh my gosh, so many guys. This is a cool card. Ugh, it happened. So let's see, we can Ravaging Ghoul, execute here. We could Ravaging Ghoul, Whirlwind, but we can't bash if we do that, so that won't work. So we could bash this, Ravaging Ghoul, execute. 7 mana. The healing totem actually gets value again, but whatever. I can't fall too far behind here. My hand sucks. I need weapons. Like, where are my weapons at? This is unreal. Both executes are gone. Shield Slam might get a little better though. Oh my god, so many Fire Elementals. It's such a good card. Underrated card in the game. One of the most. Loot Hoarder. Well, Loot Hoarders are easy for me to kill. This heal is just outrageous though. Finally got a card I can play. Jeez. I think the Fire Ellie might have to live. Well, we can actually kill it, can't we? We can Revenge, Ravaging Ghoul, Fire Ellie, Fire Wax. It's 5, 7 mana. We could also use the Shield Slam to accomplish the same thing without taking 6 damage, but I don't really think I care about taking 6 damage. We've just used all of our stuff though, which is a little scary. And I'll leave that alone. Again. At least it's not getting healed this time. Nixie is going to be a good board refill here. Hopefully it's not too slow if he loads up the board with even more dudes. I don't know how he has so many cards. I guess he's just been playing Fire Ellies. Thank God there's not a third one that's coming. He's not at Cthulhu yet. His Cthulhu hasn't been buffed either. So, Cthulhu's not a threat yet, but we don't have any executes for it, so... looks like Onyxia is going to be the play. I'm sure in this kind of mid-rangey deck he's going to be running Lightning Storm and stuff. But shouldn't actually be that problematic. Do I care more about my health or my... I guess I'm actually just going to sack this minion to make room for Onyxia, and to preserve my health a little bit. So we might see like Hex Lightning Storm, but that's his whole turn, so he's not going to accomplish a ton. The problem is, like, look at my junk hand. My god. What a junk hand. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's a pretty good turn for him. I mean, as far as removal, but at least we also burned his entire turn. Ugh. Really? We don't really have any brand synergies or the time to figure them out, right? So that Pagel could actually be MVP if he draws me a card. Because we're out of stuff. The Brawl is super relieving to see. He's drawn 7 cards more than me. Jeez. Oh, he's just got a lot of cycle cards. I forgot about the loot hoarders. So that actually makes a lot of sense. Oh, so he's more threatened by the Nat than the Bran. Very interesting. MVP, that's well worth it. Jeez, what a powerful thing already. Do we brawl this board yet? I don't know. Blood to Ichor's so good here. Blood to Ichor Bash is so good. I don't think I can pass that up. But then this thing's... Oh, we can Shield Slam that. But then I don't have anything for Cthulhu other than Brawl. Well... We're gonna have to try it. Yeah, I'll have to do that just because of this guy. Thought about not doing it and killing off the Wrath of Air Totem, but even doing that wouldn't have really helped. Lightning Storm still would have dealt with my board, especially with the 2-1 outright. So killing the 2-1 just theoretically saves more minions. Alright, so we technically have the board, but we don't really. Alright, thank you for toteming. That makes Brawl much better for me. Come on, Nat. You got it, Nat. You can do it, Nat. Nope. Okay. So, a little Shaman tip, right? Sometimes if you have some really good minions and you're playing against a warrior, it's alright to pass on the totem, just to make it more likely that your Brawl wins. Particularly if you don't already have totems out. Like, imagine if he'd had just the 4 6s, and I had like an empty board, there'd be no reason to totem, because that just plays into Brawl. It means the totem has a chance to win the Brawl. Right now we're still going to Brawl, but I got to figure out how I want to do this, right? We currently have a 3 out of 8 chance to win the Brawl. I can clear at least 1 minion, right, and give myself a slightly better chance to win the Brawl. Now it's a 3 out of 7 chance to win the Brawl. So we'll take the Brawl, and then we'll probably just Ironforge. Really, there's just 2 bad outcomes. Either of the taunt guys is really the only bad outcome. Well, that's clearly the best outcome, so happy about that. We get the worst 4-drops, guys. Where are the, like, Singe and Shield Masters and stuff? Ugh, card draw is killer. This actually plays in a Lightning Storm, which I didn't suspect was a concern at all. Still haven't seen Justicar. I did put Justicar in my deck, right? My god, where is she? Hexed the Ethereal Arcanist. I guess he wanted to protect his brand. He's planning a... He's clearly planning to Cthulhu, so we're going to have to do this. Bran is dead, that's good. Just watch this unfold. We got a Dark Trap. That's actually pretty good. That's good. That kills Yogg. That's... It's not good at all. We killed our own guy and gave... That's good. Oh! Alright. Cool. Really wish we'd drawn some cards, though. Something's still gonna kill Bran, though. Oh, there it is, the mulch. What did this get buffed with? It seemed like I got a buff after the 2 health buffs. Silvermoon Portal. Oh, we did draw a card. Sick. That's really good. Oh my god, so many mulches. Not my Tintin. Not my Tintin. Okay. I feel like we didn't cast that many spells, but by god, I guess we did. Oh, Raven Idol's good. I guess we fit in a lot of spells. Oh, wow. Okay. Did we cast this many spells? Oh, that sucks. Oh, +2/+2 again. Alright, not bad. Not bad, man. If you place Cthulhu, we get to kill it because it's going to go to 1/1. A 13/9 Misha out of that Yogg. Jeez. I didn't think I played that many spells. Oh, I had a Bran out. Is that why? Oh, we had a Bran on the board. That's why we had so many spells. Duh. I'm stupid. Pay attention to the board, dude. What a crazy Yogg. Good deal. Having 2 cards in hand is actually a big deal, too. A really, really big deal. That's Cthulhu right there. That card. His farthest most left card. He was going to play it. He was setting up with the Bran. And that's why he hexed, is to preserve his Bran. Because I had enough damage on board to kill it. So he really wanted Bran to live. Now he's like, I can't play Cthulhu into this. It's only a 10/10. Told you. And now his Cthulhu gets wrecked. And we go 13 to face. And we'll just play our hand out. I'll just pressure some damage. We're threatening lethal with either set of minions, right? Either minion living is lethal threat. So plus Dart Trap is devastating. So even though he has 7 cards, we're winning the game. In hand, I mean. That won't do it. Although he got a Shaman card off Mulch. That's pretty funny. That could help. Oh my. Got worse. Got a little better, but still not enough. That's game. One thing's gonna die. That's pretty funny. Oh, the worst thing. Yeah, so Yogg straight up won us the game. Cool. Is that, wow, cool. Dig it. Wow. Alright, so I actually think that's going to wrap it up for me and the Malchezaar Fatigue Warrior. I know that was only 2 games, but they tend to take a while. Running a little light on time, so I do actually think we got to see the deck shine, particularly in a Malchezaar Fatigue mirror match, which I never could have scheduled or planned, but that was pretty amazing. So hopefully this gave you a sense of what Prince Malchezaar could do, and I have to say, it didn't honestly feel that good. We would have lost that mirror match with Prince Malchezaar, but in that Shaman game, I guess we did get the Onyxia, which was cool, but the Nat Pagal was on the inverse, and the Bran actually worked out, but it's pretty random. But that game didn't go into Fatigue, right? That game was really, we just won thanks to removal and Yogg-Saron. It had very little to do with Prince Malchezaar. We were, in fact, running Justicar Trueheart, even though we never saw her. She would have been very valuable in that Warrior matchup. But she was like the last card, or the second to last card or something. So she got monkeyed away. We never saw her. So I don't know. I don't know that this Decksperiment successfully tested Prince Malchezaar as a viable card, but certainly this kind of deck has potential. I don't know if it's just a control warrior deck, though, or if it's actually a fatigue deck. That's yet to actually be seen. You actually saw another attempt at the Malchezaar Warrior with that mirror match where you run more card draw. He had like the Cold Light Oracles, where you try to force your opponent into like a mill phase. That's another potential way to do it. I don't really see it that way. I see Prince Malchezaar as more of your deck is literally just 5 cards longer, so just run enough removal, and Prince Malchezaar will generate your threats for you so that you can basically fit in more life gain and fit in more removal, and that way you just have more than enough ways to deal with everything your opponent could imagine playing, and that wins you the game. So it's really more of an attrition card to me than sort of an active mill enabler. But time will tell. I'm sure other professional players and other ladder warriors will test this card out. When I say other professional players, I don't mean to imply I'm a professional player, not by any means. Just other people who happen to be professionals will test this card out and tell us and show us what really works. And the ladder, of course, and the data will always tell us if Prince Malchezaar is good or not. I will say, though, Ironforge Portal felt okay. It gave me some pretty bad 4-drops, but I think we saw the raw side of the variance there. There are some good 4-drops as well, right? Like, even Warrior has some good ones, Gorkron, Bloodhoof, but also there's a lot of stuff you wouldn't hate to see here. Yetis and Dark Irons, and there's some bad stuff too, granted, but I think we still saw the worst side of Ironforge Portal, and it felt okay. 4 armor is useful, particularly to enable Shield Slam, so this card might also actually have some potential as well, although I don't know that most decks would be able to find room for it. The reason this deck can find room for it is because we don't have to run Sylvanas, we don't have to run Karin, we don't have to run N'Zoth, we don't run threats simply because Prince Malchezaar theoretically generates those threats and gives us a separate win condition. So in a deck where you're trying to fit in more powerful stuff, Ironforge Portal might not be good enough to make the cut. So even though it worked okay here, I'm not saying the card is going to be played substantially in Warrior. Only time will tell, of course. But that's going to wrap it up for me and this Decksperiment. I hope you enjoyed my attempt at a fatigue-style list. We certainly saw it in Fatigue. If you have any thoughts or comments on this deck, you know where to leave them. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, game on.